And welcome in to another edition of Tennessee Tuesday. It's Tuesday, April the 28th. Good evening to you. I'm your host, John Blankenship, joined by my co-host, Jason Boshers. And our special guest tonight will be, again, Commander-in-Chief at Donnie Kennedy will be joining us tonight. A big weekend coming up in Columbia at headquarters. And we're going to be talking about the pilgrimage here in just a few minutes. But before we get into our comments tonight and those that are joining us, I hope you have had a wonderful week. It's been an interesting week so far. We've started out with storms here in West Tennessee and then pretty much across the state. Jason has seen some of those in the last little bit, and hopefully we'll all stay on the air tonight. Commander Kennedy, I hope it's safe down in Louisiana.
Looks good right now.
Well, fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and start with our disclaimer this evening. Of course, the views and opinions that are expressed on this show are solely our own tonight, not the SCV. It's GEC, divisions, brigades, camps, any part but our own. So again, we've got that part covered tonight. We've got good conversation with Commander Kennedy coming up in just a moment. Also, lots of things been happening in the Tennessee division. We've all been to a few events, and we're going to show about some of those. Talk about just things happening. It's been a busy few weeks, and looks like it's even going to be a busy summer, and we'll be talking about all of that tonight. So, Jason, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing well, John. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Ready for this weekend. Looking forward to coming up to Columbia. The plan is to be there, come up Friday night, spend the night, stay around on Saturday, and the activities there at headquarters. So it's going to be a fun end of the week and weekend. But let's start out by saying hello to a few folks that are joining us tonight. Daniel Brooks on with us from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I hope Daniel is doing good this evening. We're so glad he's with us. Johnny Jenkins, one of our regulars here from up in Springfield, Missouri, saying hello this evening and checking in. Kim from down in Jacksonville, Florida, also one of our faithful regulars here on the program with us. We're good to have Kim on tonight. Our friend Chuck Roydhouse, Jason, just up the road from you there at the General Hatton Camp. He is now the Lieutenant Brigade Commander there of the McLemore Brigade, one there at our division reunion. We'll talk about that and recap a little bit more about division reunion later on in the program. Also, hello to Ryan Rogers joining us tonight from the Alabama division. And Jason, I've about got folks memorized where they're from and the camp numbers. So I don't even have to really look at the screen anymore, just see the name. So that means you're a faithful viewer, and we do appreciate that. Daniel, or Derek Glover, I should say, joining us tonight. He's been all over the South, been following him on social media. I know he's been down around Memphis, toured several places and across the state. He's a busy man traveling. Also, Al joining us in Tullahoma. Hope he's doing well tonight. A couple of more we'll say hello to, and then we're going to jump into our conversation with Commander Kennedy. Daniel joining us this evening as he does each Tuesday night. Mr. Roy Hudson is joining us from, I guess he's back in Florida now. He may be on the road somewhere. He's been busy too, traveling, of course, as our Army of Tennessee councilman. And of course, you've heard him on the program last week as he's talked about his candidacy. So we appreciate Roy joining us tonight. Kyle Thompson, just up the road, saw him this past weekend in Union City. He's division commander there. Also, Jim joining us tonight, as well as Commander Dennis Stubblefield from Portland. So hello to all those folks that are joining in. We'll shout out to some more as the evening progresses. But again, thank you for being with us tonight. And I feel like I am underdressed this evening as Commander Kennedy has his neck ribbon on, his official shirt, and he looks nice and fancy tonight. And here I am just casual. Commander Kennedy, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, John. You and Jason, y'all do a great job here on this program. And I feel like I only have about 3 more months to wear this impressive gewgaw and to have to dress up and look formal. But of course, Jason, who's counting, right?
The answer, who's counting?
Who's counting? But we've got a lot going on. And right quick, John and Jason, I just want to tell y'all that I was in Montgomery, Alabama this past weekend at the Alabama, at the Capitol there. And Alabama was celebrating the Alabama division there. I believe it's the 120th or 125th anniversary of the founding of the Alabama Sons of Confederate Veterans. And that was great. Plus, we had a great turnout. The weather was not necessarily good, but we had a great turnout, a lot of enthusiasm. And what was the best part of the program was that I got to stand up and tell all our members that was there and everybody that was listening that the Sons of Confederate Veterans has raised millions of dollars. We've spent millions of dollars promoting our heritage, defending our heritage, and we managed to do that without giving one nickel to the Ku Klux Klan or the neo-Nazis.
Absolutely.
I did that, I could turn around and point back towards the Southern Poverty Law Center. I said, and that's something those damnable people over there cannot say. So I hope everybody has seen the press release that we put out, and I hope y'all have sent it out far and wide because everybody needs to know about what those people have been doing. Those people are really, really responsible more than anybody else for monuments being attacked, our heritage being attacked, even individuals being attacked, and anything that we can do to spread the information about who they really are, we should do it. So
well, Commander, for folks that are joining us tonight that may have seen your press release or have not, do you want to touch on briefly what that's about? Because that's big news.
If I known that, I would have brought the press release with me. But what we did was the Sons of Confederate Veterans sent out a press release. Now, here's the problem that we have. We can send press release out to AP, UP, Fox, Newsmax. They very seldom pick it up, but we still have to send it out. I am dependent on the Sons of Confederate Veterans, the local camps, the divisions, the brigades, to put this news release on their social media platform, encourage their memberships to put this press release on their social media platform. That spreads it out to millions of people. Plus, you can take that press release and send a copy of it to your mayor, your city councilman, your school board member, your sheriff, your judges that the judges and your district attorney that's going to be taking these cases when Antifa or somebody wants to bring charges against us and we have to go to court. These people need to know who the real enemies are, and they need to know that the Sons of Confederate Veterans are active in their local community. So I'm encouraging you to take that press release. If you haven't already done it, put it on your social media and tell the world about it. Because what we do, we let the world know that the Sons of Confederate Veterans is one of America's, if not the most, but one of the most, the oldest continuously operating veterans organization. We are a patriotic organization, and that we take great umbrage to the fact that people such as the Southern Poverty Law Center has been making ridiculously incorrect statements about our heritage. And then I give an example why our heritage is not what they say it is. And then I'm encouraging people to take a look at the Southern Poverty Law Center and take a look at the Sons of Confederate Veterans. They are the ones who divide us. We are the ones who are bringing people together. So that new press release, take a look at it and get it on your social media and get it out to your elected official. It's still not too late. So, there it is right there. If
I know that's hard to read. Don't try to read that, Commander. I know that's small on the screen, but it's just showing that it's out there.
Yes.
I'd be looking for that. The Tennessee Division Facebook page, the public page has shared that. So it's out there, and encourage you to grab it. Folks that are watching tonight, and share that and read more about what they have been doing and our response to it.
Good. Thank you a lot for showing that and bringing that up, because it is very important. One of the things that we have as a group of organization, as many camps and division, we have fallen down on getting our message out, our positive message out to the general public. And remember, if you want to increase membership, if you want to make it easier to recruit people in your community, you've got to let them know that we're the good guys. And this communication system is one of the ways we do it. And one of the things that I keep asking, and hopefully in the future we can have some means whereby all the local conservative podcasts and talk radio programs and all the positive, the good weekly papers that will take our press releases, that we can just hit a button and send these press releases to those groups. So one day, hopefully the SCV will be organized in such a manner that we can do that. And one of the things that will make this possible, as soon as we get our new website up, that will be much easier to maneuver on. And that is coming, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a much improved website. Headquarters is working on it now. Now, right quick, let's talk about this weekend, if y'all don't mind, because we've got a great weekend coming up. And we've got, you can see there right now, the keynote address is Teresa Rowan. She's with the United Daughters of the Confederacy. She's an archivist, and she is going to be giving the keynote address. But I'm going to start out by telling you that at 11 a.m. At the headquarters next to the UDC pediment by the headquarters by Elm Springs, we will be rededicating a World War II monument. Now, people ask me, said, well, why are y'all rededicating a World War I? Did I say two? It's a World War I monument. Yeah. But it's very simple. When there's a beautiful picture of it right there. When the people in Memphis tore down Forest Plaza, and of course we accepted, we said, we'll take Forest Plaza. We'd already taken and reinterred General Forrest and his wife. So we'll take all the parts of Forest Park, the equestrian statue, the pedestal, the whole works, bring it to our headquarters, put it here, and we'll keep it. You don't have to worry about it. Well, in the process, those woke people destroyed a World War I monument that was in Forest Plaza. So we've touched base with them. They never seemed like they wanted it. And this has been, Jason, how long has it been since we've had this monument, since all that was done?
2019.
2019. So you're looking at almost 7 years we've had possession of this, and we all said, we put monuments up, we don't take them down. And when we saw this is a veterans monument. And interesting enough, this monument is dedicated to 4 people from Memphis, Tennessee. There were physicians who died during World War I. 3 of them have Confederate ancestors, and 1 of them has a Union ancestor. So we are rededicating that. We're putting it back up, just like we've got the pediment there, UDC pediment that came from Jason, what university was that? It's in Tennessee.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yes, it came from Vanderbilt.
Started at Peabody. Started at Peabody, and Peabody become Vanderbilt. Yes.
There you go. I just had a old folks brain fart there. I just couldn't remember. But anyway, we have both of these there, and what we want to do is at 11 o'clock we're going to rededicate them. We've invited people from the Sons of Union Veterans, the Officer Corps of the Union Veterans, the Officer Corps of the Confederate Veterans, and Confederate veterans themselves. We're going to be there and rededicate this monument. And we've got, if you'll notice that flag flying, these gentlemen were from Tennessee. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about some of the things that Tennessee and the Southern sons and grandsons of Confederate veterans have done for these United States, and why we are glad to put this monument up and honor it. So that's going to be at 11 o'clock. It'll run at approximately 30 minutes, depending on how long-winded Jason is when he gets up there telling us about the monument. So we'll see. Jason's sitting there grinning. Yeah. All right. And then from 11:30 to about 12:45, there's going to be a lunch break. Bring your picnic basket, folks. What is it, Yogi Bear? You say your picnic basket. Bring your picnic basket. Bring you an umbrella. Bring you a chair. Enjoy the grounds there at headquarters and have a little picnic break, lunch break from 11:30 to 12:45. And then after that, from 12:45 to about 1:15, we're going to have a dedication to the H.K. Edgerton Memorial Bench. We've got that bench. There it goes, a good-looking bench there. And now, right now, it is up close to the Lee statue, as I understand it. When we get the walkway of 21st Century Confederate Heroes walkway complete, when the plaza is done, this bench will be put up next to the flagpole for the plaza, Forest Plaza. And HK will be there to welcome everybody that walks through there. So we will be we'll be dedicating this bench at that time. I believe Kurt Lyons is going to give us a little bit of a presentation. I've got my hook to pull him off the stage if he gets to talking too long, because he's a lawyer, and y'all know how lawyers are. They're almost as bad as Ron Kennedy, not quite as bad. And speaking of which, Ron Kennedy will follow Kurt Lyons talking about the 21st century Confederate heroes that has made all this possible just shortly. Then at from 1:15 to about 1:45-ish, we'll have our keynote address by, of course, Teresa Rowan. Now, we've got music interspersed in between there, and it will come and go as the time allows. From about 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we'll have our floral tributes and any wreaths and flowers that people want to bring, and we will put those out and accept those. And we should have everything wound up and people ready to go home around 3 o'clock. So that's what we're looking at. And I'm going to encourage y'all, please show up at 11 o'clock. I've asked Adam to invite elected officials. Whether or not they'll come, at least they've been invited. I've asked Adam to invite the junior ROTC. Make sure they know that this is available and ask them to come to this event. The American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign War, VFW, they've been notified. And again, they may not want to come. That's their business. But we want the community to know that we, the Sons of Confederate Veterans, we are a veterans organization, and we respect all of Americans' veterans, especially those veterans who are descendants from Confederate soldiers. So we have something to brag about. We've invited the media there to come and participate in this. So I'm encouraging the people in Tennessee, in and around that area, to please come to this event. Please support us. And Jason, have we heard anything about any Confederate reenactors that might be showing up?
I have had a couple of gentlemen that have said that they were coming with their muskets to fire a volley. And that was, thank you for bringing that up, because gentlemen, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you got a Confederate uniform, you've got a musket, you're a reenactor, please come out and you can fall in. We have a World War I doughboy. He's going to be in the doughboy uniform. He's going to fire a volley at the World War I monument. And when our Confederate memorial service happens, it would be nice to have a bunch of Confederates there firing a volley.
Mm-hmm.
It would be embarrassing if the Sons of Union veterans have more people there than we do.
Yes.
So I'm encouraging the volunteer state of Tennessee. Come on, volunteer folks. We need you there. Jason, I've asked Ron if he'd be willing to put his reenacting uniform on. He said that if it'll fit, I'll put it on. So I tell him not to worry about if his don't fit. He can borrow mine. Since I'm bigger than him, it'll fit. So we may have Ron Kennedy there dressed out. And I've got a couple of muskets and bayonet and the whole accoutrement. So I'm going to bring that along also. So y'all come on, let's have a good time. And remember, bring your picnic basket. Just watch out for the bears. They like to steal those picnic baskets. So y'all come, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. And I'm looking forward to this event. Primarily, I want this event to be seen by the general public because we're rededicating a World War I monument that was taken down, and they take them down, we put them up, and also we're dedicating a bench to H.K. Edgerton, a black man that walked across Dixie in a Confederate uniform carrying a Confederate flag. And then we have Teresa Rowan giving the keynote address. Now, remember, neither HK, Teresa, myself, or anybody in the SCV has ever donated any money to the KKK or the neo-Nazis. The Southern Poverty Law Center cannot say that, but yet they are supposed to be the good guys, and we're supposed to be the racist demons in America. Let's expose them for the liars, thieves, and crooks that they actually are. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. So I look forward to seeing y'all Saturday.
Well, all right, Commander, man, it's going to be a good time. Looking forward to seeing you. Going to be a good event, and we'll see you coming up this weekend.
Good.
All right, Commander Donnie Kennedy's been our guest. Commander, anything else you need to leave with us, or are you going to drop off with us tonight?
I'd like to drop off and get busy doing some stuff here, getting ready for this weekend.
All right. Well, Commander, thank you so much. Know the door is always open. Anytime you want to be on with us, we'll make sure to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Commander Donnie Kennedy has been our guest tonight, Jason. We're getting ready to get into our first break tonight, and we need to go through our sponsor list, Jason. We'll get started here with those that want to join as a regular monthly sponsor. We're going to put those on the screen now. There you see those, a Patreon member. Jason, tell folks how they can join as a Patreon member and support the programs here on SCV Chat.
Yes, sir. And you can join. This is a monthly deal. You can join through patreon.com, or you can go to scvchat.com, look for Patreon on there, and you can join that way. And there's different levels. You have the $2.50 a month level. That's the entry level. They call it Feed the Moose a Corn Dog level. And you can start it there. Then they have the $10, which is a real chat head level. And when at that, you start to get a little bit of some of the background stuff that's going on. You'll be sent some emails, and you'll know some things that they're doing. And then they have the merchandise level, and that's $30 a month. And with that, every so many months, you'll end up getting something in the mail. And it's you get some, actually, I've gotten stickers and other things. It's not stuff that you can buy. It is stuff that they provide for us. So at the $30 level, That's the merchandise level. And then you have the $80 a month level. Now that starts getting into the show sponsors. And you see our Patreon members, so you've seen them scrolling along the bottom.
Yeah.
And our Patreon members, the people that contribute every month, they are such a huge part of us being able to put these shows on, all of these different shows, from SCV Chat on Monday night to Tennessee Tuesday to Look Around the Confederation. These our Patreon members are huge, and thank you. The show sponsors, that's something completely special in and of itself. And we have, which one do you want to pull up? Okay, we'll start with Dr. Chris Cummins. Dr. Chris Cummins, he was on my staff when I was Commander-in-Chief. Now, I know, John, that you have actually, he's doctored on you before. So would you like to speak about that?
Yeah, I got to meet Dr. Cummings again. And we've told you before a few times when he was in Jackson. He spent some time practicing up this way. And now he's back down in Oxford, Mississippi, in a nice location. Again, his slogan there is modern medicine, Southern hospitality. So if you've got knee pain or other issues, go see Dr. Chris Cummings and make sure you tell him while you're there that you heard about him on SCV Chat and thank him for his sponsorship of our program. And Jason, coming up next here, tell us about 31st Regiment Engraving, another one of our monthly sponsors.
I actually need to look and see if Todd's been on. This is Todd out of California. And Todd has his 31stregengraving.com, and it is Confederate and a Confederate themed custom laser engraving. They have, you can see the earrings they have there. They have the bottle opener. And what a lot of people are attracted to are the wristbands. Yeah. You can have your ancestors' name put on your put on that wristband. And I want to thank Todd for doing this. I also want to thank for being a sponsor. He's out of the California division, and California is doing a great job. And thank you, Todd.
Of course, Commander Larry McClooney, past Commander-in-Chief, and booksbylarry.com, his Paradox of Freedom that's out now. That's a history of black slaveholders in America. You can pick up a copy of his newest book. And Jason, of course, he's got several books to his name as a very well-known author in the war for Southern independence here. So again, we appreciate Larry McClooney sponsoring our program as well this evening. Booksbylarry.com is where you can go and order any of those books.
And I would like to go back and say one thing about Larry. His book, that Paradox of Freedom, that won the Douglas Southall Freeman Award that the Military Order of Stars and Bars recognizes as the best book of the year. And I tell you, it was a fantastic book, and that is the winner of the Douglas Southall Freeman Award.
All right, our next sponsor is Beauregard's Tailor. There you see some of the products that they offer: T-shirts, reproduction flags, lapel pins, more uniforms. You can visit their website. That's the easiest way, Jason, to learn about what all they offer: Beauregard'sTailor.shop. So go check them out. Again, great products they offer.
Yes, sir. And Connor Bond said on last night's show on SCV Chat that Beauregard's Tailor, they're going to stop making uniforms. I think if you wanted to order a uniform, you've got up until May the 1st to be able to order one. And they're going to focus on the other items that they have, such as the flags, T-shirts, and lapel pins, that kind of thing. And they're going to ease away from making uniforms. They think that it might just be temporary, but they're going to step away from making uniforms. But if you're looking for a special piece, go to Beauregard's Tailor. He might have it in stock.
Absolutely. Also, the museum at Market Hall. Got to see that museum when we were in Charleston, South Carolina a couple of years ago. Again, if the flag is out, they are open. Jason, I know you've been to this museum as well. Just a very fine run museum. And we've seen on SCV Chat on Monday as Moose went through and showed off some of the artifacts they had guests on from the museum. And what a great museum there. Tell us more about them.
Oh, well, they're just absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can see they started collecting these things even before the war ended. But the museum's been going on since 1899, and it's right there on Market Hall in Charleston. And if you see the flag is out, they're open. And they have so many special things in there that it is worth going, and it's worth going back and watching the video, the SB chat where Harrison Moose went in there and showed around and actually had them on the show. So that's a wonderful deal. Go see the museum at Market Hall. I would recommend it. Yes.
And finally, our sponsor tonight, the Sam Davis Home and Museum, samdavishome.org. If you've never been to Smyrna, Tennessee, this is the highlight of your trip there to Smyrna. Again, tour the historic home. This is the home that Sam Davis, the boy hero of the Confederacy from Tennessee, lived in. And of course, Jason, he is also buried on the property. So you have an opportunity to go to his grave and pay respects. And something I love about this house museum, Jason, is it has not been modernized. It's really correct, like it was. And tell us more about it. And also, there's restoration work going on right now.
Yes, sir. As you can imagine, a home of this age, 200 years old, or nearly 200 years old, there's a whole lot of restoration work. They've done some of the windows. Now they're working on some of the upstairs windows. The home is essentially like it was. It doesn't have HVAC unit or anything like that in it. So that's the reason why they're closed in January, because the house is really not comfortable to be in. You can go into the room, Sam's bedroom. You can go, because when they come back with Sam's body, when they come up the drive, she could hear, Sam's mama could hear the wagon rolling up. And she looked out, and she was in the girl's bedroom, and the girl's bedroom is in the front looking out. And she looked out, saw Sam in the had a coffin, and saw Oscar there, and she collapsed. So you can go and look in that room where she collapsed. You can go to the rock where he tied his horse up the last night that he was there. He come there in the middle of the night, and his father repaired his boots. His mother fed him and gave him a overcoat. A dyed it was a Union blue overcoat that Oscar had gotten and had found, and she had dyed it brown with walnut hulls. And she fed him and gave him that, and he left in the middle of the night. So you can go and see that. Then you can go visit the gravesite.
A very nice house museum, a great story to tell. He is the boy hero of the Confederacy, as that term was put to him back in the early 1900s. Again, I've always loved going to the home and spending time there. We get to meet there with our division council one time a year. Great folks running that museum. We'll shout out to all the staff there, as well as the boards that continue to make it operate. So if you'd like to join as a member, samdavishome.org is where you go and learn more. Well, it's time now for our first break, Jason. We've got a good viewership on with us tonight. We thank you for watching. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. And also, we have a little special music. We'll listen to Dixie coming back after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Was your great-grandfather a traitor or a patriot? Today's politically correct are trying hard to take away the heritage of the brave Confederate soldiers who fought and died for their land. But one thing is certain, they can't change history. Those Confederate soldiers were fighting for the same reason soldiers fight today. They were fighting against homeland invasion. We believe that the desecration of the bravery, patriotism, and honor of those men should not be allowed. They were outmanned and outsupplied, but they were never outfought. They were proud men who believed in fighting to protect their dignity, their homes, and their families. If you're the male descendant of a Confederate soldier, we'd welcome you to join with us in the preservation of that heritage. We're the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Check us out on the internet at scv.org or call us at 800-MY-SOUTH. That's 800-697-6884. Sons of Confederate Veterans, dedicated to preserving the reputation of men like Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and your great-grandfather.
Look away, look away, look away. Early on across the morning, look away, look away, look away. Well, I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie land,
And there's the 52nd Regimental String Band there and their rendition of Dixie. Jason, we heard that live this past weekend in Union City, Tennessee for the fundraiser for the Unknown Confederate Soldiers Monument there. Great job by those guys. They did several other songs, and we'll be talking more about that event from this past weekend to show you some photographs coming up here in just a few. But let's jump back into some of these comments, Jason. There have been all kinds of folks talking here with us tonight that have joined us, and we want to say a shout out to a few of these now and go through some of these. Of course, Sean Hill joining us, who is our second lieutenant commander in the Tennessee Division. Good evening to Sean. Also, Mr. Ray Walton is joining us from Hanover, Virginia. There. Good to see him this evening. Jordy Barnett, we'll be talking about something they had. It was a plus. When the media picks up your story, especially a new Confederate monument, you want to shout out to those folks. So, again, good to see Jordy this evening. We'll talk about that coming up. Also, Corey Clark there joining us from Camp 87, and we're good to have Corey with us tonight. Several new folks that have been joining us this evening, Jason, so we're always glad to have those folks with us. Michael Adams Jr. there joining in tonight. Hello to him. Ms. Linda Hudson, she is joining us there. I'm guessing her and Roy are together tonight, but they're both on with us and watching. We appreciate them this evening. Buddy Martin, good to see Buddy tonight. Hope he's doing well. Let's see. We saw Derek has been on here with us, a couple of others. David Pope is joining us this evening from the Valley of East Tennessee. Hope all is well, David, in Knoxville. And don't forget about David's program on Friday evenings you can listen to in the Douglas Southall Freeman Facebook group. You can go and listen. If you like good education, good history, and really breaking it down, you'll love David's program. So make sure you go follow that group for more great programming that's Confederate-oriented. And I like that we're developing this and want to continue to grow that as well. James Price joining us from Henderson, the Ike Stone camp. He is the new brigade commander for the Shiloh Brigade in Tennessee. So congratulations to JR. Appreciate him stepping up to that role too. And let's see here also, Kyle Thompson, he saw the video of the cannons at Montgomery. Of course, when Commander Kennedy was on, saw that as well. Really nice service that took place down there. Dale Welch is joining us this evening from Monterey. Hope he is doing good tonight. And let's go down through here, Jason. We've got a few more joining us here from the new Arkansas Division Commander. So congratulations to him. Good to have you on board with the Commanders. I know you'll do a great job leading the Arkansas Division. Of course, Jim is saying hello to him. Jim was born in Arkansas, raised in Arkansas, but come back home here to where his ancestors were at the time of the war. A couple of more here, Jason, we'll mention. There's several new folks on with us tonight. I don't know if they're here to see me and you or they were here to see Commander Kennedy. I'm leaning towards Commander Kennedy tonight.
Yes.
But we are glad, definitely, that you're here with us. And something we're doing, you start to see more of, Jason. I saw a promo video I put out. We want you to share these things. The more you share, more folks know about this, the general public as a whole, but also other SCV camps. We want more folks interacting and being a part of it. Hello to Sean this evening. Hope he is doing well there in Virginia. Rich Garcia there. He's been out traveling tonight. I know he's been speaking. And I believe he presented an award from this past division reunion for Ed Hill, who is a captain in the Mechanized Cavalry, and an award that I, as the division commander, give to recognize the Mechanized Cavalry. So he won that this time. Also, James Patterson joining us from Fayetteville. He'll be hosting the Tennessee Division reunion next year. And if you're interested in go ahead and getting signed up and getting registered, TennesseeSCV.org. Josh Cameron has that up there and ready for you, so you can get that taken care of. And finally, a couple of more, and then we're going to get into some news tonight. Mr. Floyd Harvey joining us tonight from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Love Hot Springs. And a friend of mine was just over there this past weekend, saw some photographs, and they took one of the Confederate monument. And they're not an SCV member, but they saw it and thought it looked good and wanted to go see it. So folks are interested in our history.
It's good to see him.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
A couple more tonight. Kent Wilson joining us tonight. Hope he is doing well. And finally, here at the bottom, we don't want to forget the man we just heard singing there, Mr. Lee Miller, who is now in Jason's neck of the woods in Columbia and who is the new brigade commander of the Sam Watkins Brigade. Jason, you held that position for many years, and you relinquished the power and control. Lee. So I know he'll do a fantastic job. Appreciate both of you guys.
He will, and I want to thank Lee for everything he's done. Lee has been doing a whole lot of work. As you know, we got some things going on behind the scenes. You all know about them. And we've been putting videos and everything out there, but we hadn't talked about it's behind the scenes tonight, and that's the Jeff Davis monument that we've had to repair. The foundation was starting to come apart.
Here's
and yes, you can see
Jason, some of the work that you've been kind of helping spearhead that being on site as this is all happening. So there's the base of it. So the statue has been taken down already, correct?
Yes, the statue's been taken down. It started with this statue, and
let me rephrase that just in case folks jump in what we're talking about here. This is at SCV headquarters. This is the Jefferson Davis monument that was moved from Memphis a few years ago, re-erected on that site. It's got foundation issues, had to take it back down to redo the foundation. So that's what you see there.
Yes. And as you can see, it was placed, and if you've seen it and you've seen pictures of it, we'll put some out there. You can see that it was stepped up. Those step pieces were on the sidewalk, and the sidewalk only had 4 inches. So in time, it had started to give away with all of the weight that was on it. So we have to go back, and we're going to be jackhammering every bit of that out and build an all new base coming up. So it's going to be put back up because I've already had a couple of people that we've already reached out to give us bids, because once we got the statue down and the whole monument down, we contact them, send them these pictures, and we've already heard from a couple of them. I'm expecting to start receiving some bids, and we'll start putting that together real soon. Lee has worked a tremendous amount on this as well. I don't know if any of you remember or not, but to give you a little history of it, it was dedicated October the 3rd of 2020. It was dedicated the day that we opened the museum. Yeah, we opened the museum, and we dedicated the Jeff Davis statue. And just in time, this 6 years, 5 to 6 years, we've started having some issues. Now we're jackhammering every bit of it out and pouring the foundation that needs to happen. And
Jason, Lee has interesting about that photograph there. Maybe it's just me, and I look for these things. I see some Masonic imagery in there. Do you see that? Is that intentional, or is that just me being me? Do you see it yet?
I see it. The thing I don't know if it was intentional or not,
but it's there. That's interesting. And why I say that, I know you're a Mason, and many of our members are, and of course, Masonry in the time of the war between the states was very, very important. And I just saw that, and I thought that was quite interesting.
Yes, sir. And the fact that Colonel Looney was a Mason saved the house from being burned during the war. So that was, being a Mason was a huge deal. But Lee has done a tremendous amount up there. You saw him playing in the band. They do a good job. The 52nd does. I'd like to recognize one person that I saw pop up in the chat, and that's Dr. Sammy Mitchum.
Yeah.
It is great to see you, Dr. Mitchum. I hope you're doing well. I hope to talk to you soon. I'll give you a call next couple of days just to say hi to you. It's been a while.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of new folks joining us tonight, Jason, that are on with us. We're glad people are spreading the word. We're glad to have you here this evening. Let's see, Jason, we've talked about the event there coming up Saturday. And while you're there, you'll be able to see the work it's happening on these sites too. Of course, that'll be going from here. Let's go ahead and do a couple of other events coming up, and then we'll get into some photographs of some events that have taken place. And one of those coming up is the Battle of Paris commemoration. Wes Frank and all those guys up there in Paris in Camp 109, the Ism Harris camp do a great job. Rick Revel and all the guys. Don't want to leave anybody's name out, but they have their Battle of Paris commemoration they've done for a few years now. That's coming up on Friday and Saturday, May the 8th and the 9th. So that's not this weekend, but that's next weekend. I know I'm going up for a while on Saturday the 9th. So lots of good activities happening there. Again, you can search the Ism Harris Camp 109 on Facebook, and you can find out details and see that poster there too. Also, another event that was sent in to us, the historic Collinsville. I've never been to this event. Jason, have you ever been to this?
No, sir, I have not.
This is their Civil War Days. It's coming up in June. It's June the 12th and the 14th. Also, one that the Sons of Confederate Veterans host is at the Nathan Bedford Forest Boyhood Home. This is our 24th annual Forest Homecoming and Southern Heritage Festival. Saturday, June the 20th is the date. Going to be a good day from 9 till 4. As you'll see, there'll be entertainment throughout the day. There'll be the different demonstrations of cavalry, infantry, and artillery, also period music and modern music sometimes we have in there as well. There'll be food and drinks available, different sutlers selling things, speakers and lectures, and, of course, tour the home. And you get to meet Gene Andrews while you're there. And I say that being funny and serious at the same time. Make sure you meet Gene. And if he is available to tell you more about the property, I know he will. Just a tremendous worker there and has made that what it is today with his help and also others. Again, the Tennessee Division partners with SCB National on the event to help host it. And we kind of do the work behind the scenes, but it is a national event. I've been to many of these, probably 13, 14 of these, Jason, I think I've attended now. So they're a very good time and you'll enjoy yourself. Come out there and stay all day.
Yes, and I'd like to remind everybody that, yes, we'll have sutlers. There's a sutler. If you're interested in becoming a sutler out there, there's a sign-up sheet for that. I'll make it available to you. In fact, we'll have it on a future episode as we get closer to it. And then we're also going to have a silent auction tent. So if you have something that you would like to donate to raising money for the Forest Boyhood Home, that's where all the funds go. All the funds go to the Forest Boyhood Home for its preservation, for its maintenance. So if you have something you'd like to donate for the fundraiser, contact me, contact John, contact somebody in the Tennessee Division. And like he said, contact Gene Andrews. Gene Andrews, he is a stalwart out there. He has been fantastic out there for all these years. It looks as wonderful as it does because of Gene Andrews' hard work and dedication. He is truly a legend when it comes to the Forest Boyhood Home.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
can contact him and we could get it out there. Yes.
We were able to recognize Gene at our Tennessee Division reunion with one of the new merit awards there. So we were glad to be able to recognize him for his longtime service to the Tennessee Division and the SCV. So make your plans to be there with us. If you've never been, plan your weekend to come up. There's plenty of hotels, whether you stay just off the interstate near Columbia. There's 2 or 3 good hotels there. Also, the Henry Horton State Park, many stay at. Yes. I'd encourage you always to try the state park first and support the Tennessee State Parks. They always need that, and great folks there at Henry Horton. And you can also see Governor Horton's grave if you've never been to that too. That's pretty neat to go see and learn more about him. Lots to do in that area, so come up for the weekend. Of course, if you come up a little early on Friday, you can go see the National Confederate Museum. So there's your hours there, 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. They're also open 9 to 4 on Saturday. So plan to come up early during the week and tour the National Confederate Museum there in Columbia, and then go ahead and stay through the weekend for the Forest Boyhood Homecoming. Always a good time. So we hope to see you there. And if you need details, reach out to me or Jason. We'll be happy to get those to you. Also, some other things we want to say a shout out to tonight, Jason. Of course, we mentioned this. I did actually on our private Facebook group and congratulating these folks, but we want to mention them again here on this program. These are your newly elected officers in the Tennessee Division from a couple of weekends ago. I guess it's already been almost 2 weeks, a week and a half or so since our Tennessee Division reunion. There, myself, Rich, and Sean are reelected to our positions. And then there's some changes in some of the brigades, so you can see those there. So congratulations to those. Jason, if you want to drop our scroll thing off the bottom there, they'll be able to see a couple of more names there at the bottom. There you can see for the Bonds Brigade and Longstreet Brigade, some new lieutenant commanders elected too. So congratulations to all of our guys in Tennessee. Look forward to serving with you. And here's a couple of photographs. If you haven't seen these, a good turnout there in Morristown. Shout out to that camp and Mike Beck, Jordy Barnett, Joshua Cam, and the rest of the camp there at the Bradford Rose Camp and the Sam Davis UDC for the work they did to provide a very nice division reunion. And there's a photograph of our Saturday evening banquet which was well attended. Again, had a good time there, a good speaker too. And then the monument dedication, of course, took place on that Saturday afternoon. A few of us as we got ready to unveil the monument. And we mentioned earlier, great job to Jordy, who has really been working on getting this monument up for several years. The Tennessee Division was glad to be able to partner with them there and help provide funding towards this. It's in a very visible location. If you've never been to the Longstreet Museum, that is a happening area. There is a lot of traffic. So a lot of folks are seeing this, and the Citizen Tribune recognized them honoring history. Not every day you get front page coverage of a Confederate monument being erected, Jason, and they did just that. So congratulations to the guys in Morristown for a job well done. Pretty neat there, huh?
I think that's fantastic. Yes.
Let's see other things, Jason. There's been a lot going on, and I don't want to miss anything. I want to encourage you to send these events to us. Many of these I pull from our Facebook group the Tennessee Division has, but if you have specific things you would like us, you can reach out to either one of us and we'll get those included. And another one of those events that took place, let's pull these here up, and I'm going to go through. That's Chuck Roydhouse there, who is the brigade lieutenant commander for the McLemore's Brigade, and you can see that he presented that award there, the FFA award, to Ethan Scobie of Mount Juliet High School. So congratulations to him. Also, there's Uncle Martin Frost, as he's presenting another award there. He is with the Sergeant-at-Arms, James Wyatt, as they presented their Hundley Awards to Samantha Mosley of Stewart's Creek High School in Wilson County. So congratulations to her, and a good job by the General Hatton Camp in Lebanon for the work they do being involved in our schools. It's very important to get involved in the schools, and that's a way to do that from our different FFA agricultural awards, as well as the Hundleys. And you can reach out to us as well if you'd like to do that in your camp. Let's see some other events here. Let's go through. This is from this past weekend. This is in Union City. This is a fundraiser for the Unknown Confederate Soldiers Monument that dates to 1869. And there you see some of the folks that attended. Jason and his wife Linda there front and center. And also Miss Lonnie Burnett Wrinkle. And again, fantastic speaker. She's from Memphis. I've known her for several years. First met her, Jason, down in Memphis at one of the events at Forest Park there at the Nathan Bedford Forest Grave on Union Avenue at the time. And I just have loved her ever since. And she came up and spoke for this fundraiser. Also, there's the band that you heard earlier, the 52nd Regimental String Band there. They performed several songs and even took some requests. And I got one of my requests in, one my granddaddy used to sing. Also, there's, of course, Mark Buchanan. He was speaking about heritage defense. Mark is full of passion, Jason. If you know Mark Buchanan, you're listening tonight, you know what I mean when I say he's full of passion and he cares to honor our Confederate ancestors. And his little talk he did there in his time was fantastic. So appreciate Mark being with us on Saturday there. I presented showing a photograph of my ancestor that's buried in Union City, who served in the 9th Tennessee Cavalry. He later settled from Hickman County to Obion County, and I carry that photograph around to any SCV event I go to. It's in my coat pocket in that daguerreotype, showing him right before he enlisted in the war. So we remember what it's all about. Here's an award presentation there from the UDC chapter in Memphis there. You see Lonnie, along with Claudia, presenting that to Barry Sowell, and the fantastic work Camp 176 does. There's Barry Sowell. He's the adjutant and also the brigade commander who helped put this event together. Barry did a fantastic job. There's some more photographs of the band performing there for us. And then Tom Hyder, our national chaplain in chief, who's from Kentucky, just a little ways up the road, he came down and spoke to us as well. Man, this was just a good day. Lots of stuff going on. And then you see Lenny Stover they're receiving a check from Barry from Camp 176 to the Bell Partisans Camp for maintaining the mega flag site there. A nice presentation, funds to the camp for their continued work. And then there's another photograph of Lenny tearing up a little bit. Again, great work they do. And then, of course, last but not least, Kyle Thompson, the division commander from Kentucky, was there with us and brought some nice words too. He's almost a Tennessee guy because he's just not too far across the Tennessee border. So he's up in our area a good bit. So appreciate all he does, and good to hear from them. So a busy time, Jason, up in Union City. I know you were there and Linda was there. And what'd you think about that home? And just a great day.
Oh, it was. I had never heard of Historic Ann's before. And to actually go there and be part of that, I tell you, the food was excellent. And that outside venue that they had, it was very nice. And then the fundraiser went very well. They had great items on the silent auction and things went well. There were some good donations that were made. It was just an all in all, a very good night. And it was all to raise money for the unknown Confederate monument that is in Union City. And if I'm right, it was one of the first ones put up like 1868.
I think it's October 69, I believe, is the completion of the dedication date. So it's one of the earliest. Of course, knowing a little bit about that, a little quick history of that monument, it's built out of brick and then it's stuccoed around. Back in 2016 or 2017, Jason, it was the camp raised funds to basically encapsulate the old part of it because of its just deterioration from that style of brick that it was made of. Well, it's time to do some work to it again. Something like this, it's not like granite or marble. It's going to require a lot more attention. So it's time to raise funds for that. It's been looked at, Jason, that's going to be a pretty expensive project. We're looking at upwards of $10,000 or maybe even a little more. So they definitely, if you want to help out and fund towards that, divisions, camps, and especially in the Tennessee division, would like to give to that. Many of those Confederates that are buried around it were at Camp Brown, and there's some others. There's a Black Confederate soldier that's buried there and identified as well. Again, if you'd like to help out to that, reach out to the Otho French Straw Camp 176 in Union City. And you can donate there as well. The Tennessee division has been able to donate to that. And I believe they raised over $1,300 additional there that night, but still got a long ways to go to get that done. So they definitely need your help there. So a worthwhile cause, a beautiful, beautiful property. If you've never been there, there's two Confederate monuments in Union City. That's the oldest one. And then there's a more modern one that's just downtown as well. So they keep an eye on those and take care of those properties. So help those guys out. Every little bit counts, whether it's $5, $10, or some of us tonight, Jason, can write a $100 check or even a $500 check. It's important that we keep these monuments standing. Why? As I say in this slogan, because it's our history to tell. Nobody else is going to do this. If we don't do it, it's not going to get done. So if we can sacrifice a little bit.
If not us,
who?
If not now,
when?
Yeah. So nobody's going to do it but us. And if we don't do it now, this stuff's going to do some of this stuff. If it's not taken care of like this, if you're looking about every 10 years, this monument is going to have some kind of work done to it. So every 10 years, there's going to have to be some money raised for it.
Yeah.
So, but what if you let it go for 30 or 40 years and you don't do any maintenance to it? All of a sudden it gets beyond repair. And that's what we don't want to happen. So let's stay in front of it. Let's stay on top of it, and let's get the job done. Just plain and simple.
Absolutely. Well, let's say hello to a few more folks that have jumped in tonight with us. We want to try to get as many of these on. Again, we like to mention those that join us. Also tonight, I want to mention Victor Smith again joining us there from the Florida division. Good to see him this evening. Hope he is doing well. Let's see. Also, we talked about the Masonic symbolism there in that photograph. I don't think that was intentional, but I just noticed that. Thought that was pretty neat. Johnny jumping in there to say a comment to that. Let's see. Also, Roy Hudson here. Gene Andrews is a legend. What a great man. Yes, he is. And Gene just celebrated, I know he's proud of it, his 80th birthday not too long ago. And Gene can still outwork any of us just with one finger. And he doesn't ask for recognition, and that's what makes it that much better. Let's see. Also, others that have joined in. Let's see if we've got everybody here. Derek Glover made a comment. I encourage folks to make grant applications with the Society of the Order of Southern Cross. Jason, you're part of that as well. They fund many different things. Some of the display cabinets, I believe, right, at national headquarters in the museum were funded through some of this.
Yes. 26 total cabinets have come from a grant from the Order of Southern Cross. They are a fantastic organization, and that's what they do. is they fund worthwhile projects.
Absolutely.
And 26 of the cabinets that are inside the National Confederate Museum are from a grant. Yes.
Jason, if someone wanted to learn more about the Society of the Order of the Southern Cross, is there a website? How can people join that?
Yes, they can. It's orderofthesouthern-cross.com. You can get on there and you can see what they're about. Joining, you can. It's one of these organizations that you have to have a sponsor.
Yes.
It's not like you can go online, fill out an application, and join.
It's a little bit more investment in it too, because that's how these grants are funded. So keep that in mind, but it's very worthwhile cause.
Yes, very worthwhile. Very worthwhile. Yes.
Let's also say hello to Randy Crook joining us from Pensacola. Hope all is well down in that area of Florida. That's where I always went with my grandparents on vacation. We always went to Pensacola area and sometimes over to Destin. So hope all is well in the beautiful state of Florida. Hopefully the weather's a little nicer than we've had here the last couple of days in Tennessee. We've seen showers and thunderstorms move through. The tornado sirens were going off here last night. No damage here in my local area, but a little bit further out, there were some trees down, but no loss of life. How was things over in your way, Jason, as those storms have moved through?
Well, just south of us in Summertown, they were making a determination if it was going to be straight line winds. They don't think it was a tornado, but it did some damage down there. And that's just, 10 miles from here. Yes, the tornado siren went off during the night. Storms lasted until between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. And we've already had some rolling through here. I sent John a message earlier. I didn't know if I was going to be able to come on.
You're going to get to make it with us tonight, but so far, so good. Shout out to Matthew Horn joining us tonight in Greenville, South Carolina. Appreciate him joining. And we've been through those that have joined us. A good viewership tonight on our many different platforms. Jason, a couple of other events to show before we get ready to almost wrap up here. We do want to mention an event that also took place this past weekend. And that's not the one I want. Let's go down a little further here. They're kind of small on the screen. So this is, of course, in Fayetteville here. This took place. James Patterson helped organize this event. The John R. Massey Camp has their annual Confederate Memorial and Commemoration there on the Courthouse Square. And we'll go through a few of those folks that were in attendance there. And there's, you see Tater and Joe performing. And then, of course, Mike Dunn there playing for us. I believe he spoke also. And then there's the monument on the square as they laid wreaths there for it. Always a nice event. I see Sean Hill there over on the left. A good crowd there that attended this past Saturday in Fayetteville. Also now, Jason, this was been worked on at Elm Springs, and I want to let you talk a little bit about the work they're doing on the cannons.
Yes, there were some artillery pieces at a park in Memphis that Lee Miller, and I hope Lee is still on. Lee brought those, and they have them on display there at General Headquarters. That's the flagpole that's in the circle right there by the museum. And these are members of the Sam Watkins Camp number 29 painting them. And there's Dr. Bain on the left, treating his paintbrush like it's a saber. Then in the middle is Charles Southern. And then on the right, as you're facing them, is our camp commander, Will Pogue. And we had this lasted over several days. We had another camp member by the name of Ralph Smith, who had done a lot of sanding and painting himself. And this was the third work day it took to get all of this done. And previous work day, we had Will Pogue out there, Daniel Smith, and Brian Fulmer out there helping to take care of these pieces. And this is something that just has to happen every so often. We have to keep the maintenance up on them because paint's going to come off.
Yeah, well, appreciate those guys volunteering their time to come out there and do that work and help make that possible. And it's going to look really good for Saturday.
Yes, it is. And the paint was donated.
That's
what great. We have a local business, and they donated the paint for us. So that's wonderful that they did.
Well,
Yes.
Jason, it's a little bit after 8 o'clock. We're going to take one more quick break. We'll come back and promo the other shows that are coming up and wrap up with any other comments tonight. We thank you for watching Tennessee Tuesday this evening. A little programming note, Jason, I believe you've got the show solo next week because I'm going to be tied up in what's called the Berry Drink Showdown. Our West Tennessee Strawberry Festival in Humboldt goes on all next week, and I'll be involved in some of those in our Rotary Club. I'm president this year, and I've helped organize one of the events. It's a fundraiser for us. We have to design a strawberry related drink. They're all non-alcoholic. And we've got a member of our Rotary Club. She has put us two together. And this past Friday, we sampled those. And man, the one we picked is delicious. So I believe it's going to win. But that's going to be Tuesday night around 5:30 for us. And it's election day as well. So a busy evening. So I won't get to be with you next week. But Jason's got it solo. And I know he's more than capable of taking care of the show. And appreciate you, Jason, covering next week as I need to be away for that event. If you're looking for something to do next week, by the way, come to the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival in Humboldt. If you've never been down this way, a lot of folks will be in this little small town of about 7,500 people on Thursday and Friday, especially the Friday parade on Main Street. It may hit 75,000 people that are usually in town. So it's a big deal for us. A big brings in dollars, tax dollars to our city, and come and enjoy the Strawberry Festival. Been going on since 1934. So that's next week. It'll be busy week, lots of things going on. Let's go ahead and take this break. We'll come back right after this, and we'll wrap up the show. Our Southern heritage is under attack. Whose heritage, some may ask? Well, the heritage of those that love God, their families, and their homes. We must stand together and fight back against those who wish to destroy it. The sons of Confederate veterans regard these attacks as frivolous and are committed to preserve and protect our history. We can't do it alone. We need your help. To learn more about membership, visit TennesseeSCV.org. If not us, who? If not now, when? And welcome back into our program, Tennessee Tuesday, as we get ready to wrap up this evening. Jason, been a good show tonight. Enjoyed having Commander Kennedy on with us in the first segment to talk about an event that's coming up this weekend at Elm Springs in Columbia, our SCV headquarters. And we want to mention that one more time as we wrap up this evening. Jason, tell us about the activities again for the pilgrimage and Confederate Memorial Service this Saturday.
Yes, sir. The grounds are open at 9 a.m. You'll be able to come. You'll be able to go through the museum. The house will be open for tours. At 11 o'clock, there's going to be a dedication of the World War I monument. Then there'll be a little bit of a break and give people time to go get something to eat. Or you can, as is suggested, to go ahead and bring you a picnic basket, something to eat. You'll be able to sit on the grounds. And we have a east porch that's on the side of the museum where we have picnic tables set up. You'd be able to go there and enjoy a lunch. Or the Southern term is dinner, because you have breakfast and supper. You know, it's breakfast, dinner, and supper. So you'd go there and have you a dinner. And then at he said about 12:45, we're going to have the dedication of the H.K. Edgerton bench that we have. And there's going to be several people talking about that. And right now it is beside the Robert E. Lee statue. Now, the Robert E. Lee statue is where we're going to have our Confederate Memorial Service. So it's right there beside of it. So you'll be able to see the bench. And shortly when that finishes, and the H.K. Edgerton bench will not stay there. We're going to be doing the 21st Century Confederate Heroes when we put together the Forest Equestrian Plaza, and there's going to be some news about that coming up very soon. In fact, I've received the news yesterday, so you're going to be getting this out very soon. The walkway going out, this bench will be out there. There's the Looney Family Cemetery. If you're familiar with the property, you know that there's a family cemetery. The Loonies were the three first generations. The Dicks built the house. It was the Dicks. They married into the Todds. The Todds married into the Loonies, and they're buried inside there. So the walkway's going by it. So the bench is going to be out there by it. And, you know, right beside their grave is the grave of Simeon Cummins, who was on the CSS Alabama. And he was interred there on the grounds in 1994. So the bench H.K. Edgerton bench is going to be moved out there when that project is completed and we have the walkway going there. Then when that's over, we will have the Confederate Memorial Service. Donnie Kennedy, our great commander-in-chief, he's going to be the master of ceremonies. He's going to be doing those duties, and we know that Mr. Kennedy's definitely able to be a master of ceremonies.
He has no
can
problem
talk.
speaking.
Yeah, he does not. And he's going to be introducing this fantastic lady by the name of Teresa Roan. And Teresa Roan, she's incredible. I've heard her speak several times. She spoke at our brigade Christmas party, not this past Christmas, but the one before. And she just does a fantastic job. And she can talk about all of that stuff that happened up there in Richmond during the firebombing of the UDC building and all of that up there. She's just a wonderful, wonderful lady. She'll be the keynote. Then we will have the wreath laying. If you've been to one of these before, there'll be a card for you to fill out. And on that card, you'll put your name and who you're representing, and it will be read out, and you'll be able to come up and lay wreaths, floral tributes. We've Adam Southern, our executive director, put out a list of plants because some people like to bring live plants, trees. Then that's what we'll plant on the property. So some of the trees and stuff we have on the property come from people who donated these at our Confederate Memorial Service. So, and that will that'll happen at the very end of Miss Teresa Roan speaking. And just come and enjoy the day. Now, you know how the South can be. You know, bring you a lawn chair. Like I said, bring you a picnic basket. Bring you a cooler. No alcohol. Okay, we don't want that. So, you know, bring you a cooler and just come out there and enjoy the day, because this is our Confederate headquarters. So come on out and enjoy.
Going to be a good weekend. So, Jason, it's happening rain or shine no matter what, correct?
Oh, yes, it's happening now. If we have weather, it will be moved inside the museum.
Yeah.
Okay. Because last year we had weather and we had to move it inside the museum. And that'll be the same thing here. But right now they're not calling for anything. It's actually going to start out pretty cool that morning in the 40s. But it's going to warm up to near 70. They're calling 68 degrees and sunny that day. So you could need to wear a hat, you know, and that's the thing about
bring your lotion there. When we did our video a few weeks ago, I thought I don't need a hat or anything on, but us light skinned folks like that light complexion got a little burn. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be outside, you might want to bring some of that sunscreen. Going to be a good time on Saturday. Again, don't need to change your plans or worry about whether it'll happen no matter what, whether it's inside or outside. So go ahead and keep your plans, and it'll be a good weekend there. Make sure you tour the museum, leave donations, purchase items in the gift shop, buy bricks in the walkway of remembrance, and you can join the 21st Century Confederate Heroes. Many different opportunities for you to give and sponsor. And many times, one of those things that sometimes we don't talk about a lot is the Confederate battle flag that flies there in the circle. You can sponsor one of those and get that after it's flown on the site there. I know there's a list there to get that on. A lot of folks like to take advantage of that opportunity. So pretty neat things going on. So just stop in while you're there and to make sure you tour the museum. Well, let's see, Jason, a couple more comments, and then we're going to say our goodbyes here. Again, Lee did join back in with us here. The Guns were in Confederate Park in Memphis. They tried to steal them, but we stopped them first with the most. We know that from General Forrest. Alan Lawrence saying he enjoyed the show. We enjoyed that you're here with us this evening. Also, Dennis Stubblefield jumping in to say he's looking forward to meeting Teresa in person. And again, Toby there saying thank you, gentlemen. We do appreciate him being with us tonight. And Jason, as we get ready to wrap, let's go through our list of programs that are coming up that you'll have the opportunity. Of course, Tennessee Tuesday, each Tuesday night at 7:00. And then coming up, Jason, what do we have on Wednesday night?
We have on Wednesday night, we have Look Around Florida with the Florida Man, Mr. Sean McFall. It is 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, he's a Florida boy, and he is on Eastern Time. So it's 7 p.m. Central Time. Look Around Florida. And then on Thursday night, what do we have, John?
Thursday is Look Around the Confederation. That's always a good program. Of course, the first one, you have Commander's Comments, and the rest, Moose looks around at different activities that have happened around the Confederation with our camps and our brigades and our divisions. So, Jason, drop that up on the screen, if you will, that email address. So if you have events, Moose needs to know about those. And the way to do that is send those events with an explanation of the picture. You've got events coming up or things that have happened. He will share that information. It's easy for you to do, but he has to know about it. scvuyoutreach@gmail.com is where you send those, and he'll respond to you that he's got them. Moose is quick to respond on those emails as well. So send that out to him, and he'll get those on the program on Thursday evening. And then, Joe, go ahead, Jason. I see you got your hand up.
I like to say this. Don't just send it in and say, here's a picture of what our camp did. Okay. Send in your camp name, your camp number, and the people in the picture and what you're doing, because there are people that just send one in. Dennis, please do that. Come and get your recruit materials while you're there. But there are people that send stuff in and just say, this is what our camp's doing. So make sure that you go ahead and send in the information where he can read it out and tell everybody who's who and what's going on. So, and help him out on that.
Absolutely. And then coming up on Friday night is the Friends of the Douglas Southall Freeman Facebook group there. You can go request to join with David Pope. He has a show most every Friday night. It's very educational, very informative. So if you haven't got to listen to David, and encourage you to do that, 7:00 on Friday nights. And then Jason, on Sunday night, a program I like to catch most every Sunday night I get to. He misses a show every once in a while if they're traveling, but he's on most every Sunday night. That's Michael C. Hardy and Hardy on History. There's a Facebook page that you can follow there, and you can join that. That's at 7:30. So a little different time in the other one, 7:30 on Sunday nights.
Yes. And David Pope, what David generally does, he does a live show, and then the next Friday he'll do a rerun. And he has been covering subjects such as this, the Southern Presbyterian Church. He has been covering all the religious aspect of the war. But he will have a show, then it'll be a rerun, then he'll do a new one, and then a rerun. So you can, if you don't catch it this Friday night, you can catch it in a rerun, or you can go back on the site and watch it.
Absolutely. And something we want to mention as we wrap up here, Sean Hill says, Army of Tennessee News, send it to him. He is doing the Army of Tennessee newsletter now. So he's starting to put together a newsletter. And if you have things that's happened in the AOT, you can send that to Sean. He'll reach out to him on social media, and he will get that in the upcoming newsletter. And I think that date's maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks out that he needs that turned into him by as he puts together a newsletter for the AOT. So that's all I've got tonight, Jason. It's been a good show. We've been busy, a lot of stuff going on. Been a good week.
Yeah, I've got one more thing I need to talk about.
Yeah.
And I need to give an update on the National Confederate Reunion, because we have some deadlines coming up. Okay. As you know, our reunion, the 131st, is going to be July 15th through 19th in Lexington, Kentucky. If you are going to come and you want a meal ticket, okay, you want to go to the banquet, you want to attend one of the lunches, you want to attend one of the breakfasts, the deadline for that is June the 1st. Okay, June the 1st. If you best to go ahead and get registered now, but because after June 1st, they can't purchase any more meals. So if you decided that you wanted to go to the awards luncheon, hey, I go to the awards luncheon every year. You're going to have that ordered by June the 1st. So wanted to remind everybody of that. I've talked to Chris Hawkins a couple of times. They've got some fantastic deals going on. It's really starting on Saturday with that free barbecue that they're having. And John had the website up there.
Listen to him. I shouldn't even be putting those comments on there, should I?
Yeah. Well, he is just the division commander. He might not know about it. You know,
he may not. That happens at times in that role.
Yes, and but the camp is just working themselves up there. But that 131scv.org, they now have a section in there where you can go and buy merchandise. So you can go ahead and order merchandise. and get that, and you can go ahead and have it delivered to you, or it can be ready for you to pick up there at the reunion. But go on to that website, 131scv.org, and go to their merchandise page, get you some stuff ordered on there, because that is up and going, which I think is a great idea. And they're going to be adding to it, because we're only 10 weeks away. When you look at it from that, we're just 10 weeks away. But I want to remind everybody, June 1st. June 1st is the deadline.
If you want meals and you want to be those meals.
June 1st is the deadline for ticketed meals. So spread the word, okay? Because we know somebody doesn't watch the show, not on social media, any of that. If you know somebody, pick up a phone and call them and say, hey, look, you're coming to a reunion? Yeah, well, you've got to June 1st. Okay. So I thought I'd remind everybody.
Lots of stuff going on. There's plenty for you to be involved in. Looking forward to a national reunion, election year. Going to be a very busy time. It'll be a busy reunion. We've had many of those candidates, Jason. You know, I've got to interview several on the program. We've had our candidates for Lieutenant Commander in Chief, Roy Hudson and Charles LeRae, have both been on our show here with us. We appreciate those guys joining us as we have more casual talk on our show, and both did excellent jobs, and we appreciate them joining us. Also, Forrest Dawes, we've talked to him. He has been on as he's seeking Army of Tennessee councilman. And then James Patterson has joined us, who is Army of Tennessee commander, seeking those positions. So if you're running for one of those offices and you would like to be on the program for Tennessee Tuesday, we'd like to have you on. And right now, we're just doing those in the Army of Tennessee and the two top national offices. Now, if there's requests down the road, we may do others, but we're focusing, since Tennessee is in the Army of Tennessee. Those are the ones we've done so far, and all those guys have been so gracious to work out on the schedule. And all great interviews. I always say, doing this and, of course, radio for years, you never know what kind of guests you're going to get if they've never done any kind of interviews. Let me just say, every one of those guys did fantastic in an interview. They made it easy. They didn't answer with yes and no. They elaborated on the answers. And from a host of a show, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And I believe they were very successful. And our listeners and viewers get an opportunity, Jason, to look at what the candidates have. We'll look at their platforms and see where they stand and where their camp wants to vote at the national reunion in July.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the great things that we get to do, is we get to elect who and you know, and so there's going to be some conversations coming up at camps. And I know that my camp, Sam Watkins 29, we bring the Confederate Veteran magazine in, and we talk about all of the amendments, and we talk about who's running for office and get votes on all of that. And that's what's taken to the reunion. So it, and the thing is, that gets the camp involved on the national level when you do that, because they don't, you know, some of them don't really keep up with it, and they don't know about the SCV National Constitution. They might not even be aware of the Tennessee Division Constitution or even their camp Constitution. But when you sit there and you talk about amendments, it's the same thing when we have a division reunion, and we have amendments to that. We've talked that we're going to have to do some work on the Tennessee Division, and you did a great show last night when you come on live. Thank you. And you come on and you said on there that we're going to have to do some work to the Tennessee Division Constitution. Well, take that to your camp, because now they get your camp knowing, because you know they might not know. I mean, what if you have a new member? They haven't been in very long, and they don't know about what's going on, and all of a sudden they get a vested interest in this, and that's what you want. You want your members involved, and this gives them an opportunity to hear what's said, have a conversation, and have a vote, and know that their vote counts. So. So we'll be having it when we do the amendments next year for the Tennessee Division Constitution, you know, and
that's part of it. And it's a lot of work to do. Again, no matter what division you're in, and there's your division commander can always use your help. I'm in that role, and we need our members to step up for different roles. There's different committees, different ad hoc committees that are assigned for different roles. Like we'll have a constitutional committee I've put together to help work on these things, and they'll be wanting input So it's important that we get these things. I use the word loopholes because that's a common term people use. Things don't always, it says one part here, this, and this says something different somewhere else. It's just things you need to clean up. And that's some of those things we want to work on and make sure it all makes sense. Again, it's a flowing, it's a working document. It's a living document, and it can be modified by the membership if need be.
Yes. We can only modify the Tennessee Division Constitution at our division reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the SCV National Constitution. It can only happen at the national reunion. So coming to a division reunion, you know what's going on within your state. And you talk what we did with the book of reports this time.
Yeah.
You know, somebody could have left with the book of reports. They could have left with the proposed budget. They could have left with all of this information. And it's the same thing when they come to a national reunion, you leave with all of this information. And if you ever wonder what's going on, come to the reunions and find out. And I know that they're a social gathering because I have more friends in the SCV than I do anywhere else. You know, my friends are mostly SCV members, and because I've associated with them for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it's, you build friendships. And to me, I look forward to a national reunion because there's people I will only see at a national reunion. And we'll text back and forth, okay, and say, hey, well, let's get together and go have dinner somewhere, you know, that kind of stuff. Because it's, you know, we're half the country away from each other. And that's the only time we'll see each other. And you build friendships. There's just camaraderie. I'm looking forward to the Kentucky one because I know that we have an election going on in an election year. And those are most times elections, you know, well, there's politicking and all of that going on. But what I like about it is you're going to have this one should be a very laid back, easygoing reunion. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. Going to be a fun time. Jason, we've had a good show tonight. There was something I was going to play, but I totally forgot about doing it. So we won't get to do that next week because I need to be on the show when we play this. Just be prepared. There is something I have special for you, and I just totally forgot about doing it tonight. So your gift is delayed. Let's just say it's in the mail. In a couple of weeks, it'll arrive here live on video, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it then.
Again, everybody, thank you for watching tonight. As Dennis Stubblefield says, we are all family. We absolutely are, and we're so grateful that you joined us on this program tonight. Share this out with your friends, family. Share that out with other SCV members, your camps, divisions, and brigades, and we will be back with you again next week. Jason will have it solo. I'll be back with you the week after that. Again, thank you for watching. Have yourself a great rest of this week. Again, thanks to our sponsors for making our program possible. We couldn't do it without them. Again, if you'd like to learn more about being a Patreon member, you can go to scbchat.com. All those details are there. Go to Patreon, search it. Different levels you can join, different levels you can give. You can also become a monthly sponsor and have a full ad that you heard us do a live read for earlier in the show. Thank you to all of these folks. We could not do it without you. And as we close out tonight, we're going to end this show. Again, we'll have our regular outro, but let's close with the 52nd Residential String Band as they perform Dixie. I think that's the most appropriate way to go out. Have yourself a great week, everybody. God bless you.